Very good evening to everyone. We are here with yet another virtual session, and today we are here with upcoming Dr. Sakshi. She is a fourth final year medical and surgery student from India, but pursuing her graduation in Italy. And she is very much interactive with people from different countries, and she is interested in research and bringing a change in the society, and member of various organizations and NGOs serving the different community. And she is a polyglot with speaks six languages, and with that she was interested in multiple sectors and explore many things. So here we are with Dr. Sakshi to have a discussion on her journey. Thank you so much to join our platform.
Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you, and I'm very happy to be here today, and I'd like to thank Own Your Group for having me here and allowing me to share a few experiences of my journey in medical school.
Yes, so how you have started your journey of medicine, and what was your thought that you should do in this field?
Okay, so ever since I remember, actually, I always wanted to be a doctor. And as a kid, I used to say that once I grow up, I want to be a great surgeon. I want to treat people and, heal them or take away all their sorrows and worries. So, but then little did everyone know that I would actually end up being so serious about it. And so when I passed my 10th boards, I opted for the science stream, and I kept mathematics as an option because, if I don't get into this medical faculty, then I could go for engineering. So all that thought was there in my mind. And I had decided that no matter what happens, I want to become a doctor. I want to pursue MBBS, and which is why I also wrote the NEET UG exam after my 12th. And but then, however, before the NEET exam, me and my family had actually started looking for options abroad. So which countries are good, then which universities abroad are good for medical and everything. And this was when I actually started. I wrote a few exams of those universities and gathered some information, did my own research about the teaching methods and how they use technology in medical education and everything. So. I remember a few days just before NEET, I got accepted into two universities, and then I was in a big dilemma if I should, do the NEET, don't do it. Then if I do it, if I get a good seat in India, then if I should just stay back in India or go abroad. So that was a very dilemmatic situation for me. But then at a point, I had made up my mind that I want to pursue medicine abroad after all this research. And I got selected in 4 universities, which were mainly in Hungary, Italy, US, and Malaysia. And choosing one country out of these 4 was the toughest challenge for me and my family. So because, there were a few model aspects, and even financially, we had to consider everything. And so after a lot of contemplation, we chose Italy as our best option. And this is where I'm studying right now. And there were many reasons for this, since ancient times, Italy has always been the cradle of medical education and development. And my university also has one of the topmost faculties in the world, and our hospital has been ranked, it was recently ranked the #1 hospital in Italy. So we get to interact with many amazing professors and and many successful doctors on a daily basis. And the university also organizes guest lectures from Nobel laureates themselves. So our hospital, it also supports research a lot. So I have been working on a few research projects which are guided by doctors working in our hospital. And there was also one point that I always had this craze of studying in Europe because as it was mentioned in the introduction, I speak 6 languages, out of which 3 are European languages. So, this was even one of the reasons why I chose to, study medicine in Italy, because by doing so, I could integrate my passion, which is like foreign languages, and my profession, which is medicine. So this was how my medical journey began, with a lot of contemplation, lot of research, much and even confusion, I would say, at some point. But then in the end, there was a strong will to make a mark in whatever I would do in future.
Yes. So my next question would be, like, what were the difficulties like you have faced and how you have overcome due to like your journey, like in 4 years of medicine?
Yeah. So difficulties are a lot actually. So see, every new step of life comes with difficulties and adventures, to be honest. And when you actually move to a new place, and I'd say especially to a new country, so almost everything is changing. So in the beginning, I faced a lot of challenges, and it was actually like starting a new life from scratch at a mere age of 17. So the first thing I had to do when I landed there was find an apartment, because I had never done that. I had never looked for a place to live and go around searching apartments. So, but then this thing was a bit easier because my dad was there with me, and we could go together and look for a good place to stay. One important challenge when you go to a foreign university, a foreign country, is understanding the local language, which everyone I think is knows about it. And here I like to say that as I already knew French and German, learning Italian, which is like the local language in Italy, wasn't that difficult for me. But I had already done a 3 months basic Italian course here in India, so I could converse on a day-to-day basis and make people understand me when I first went there. So honestly, like most of the Italian population doesn't speak English, which is like a big challenge, because as healthcare professionals, a fundamental part of our daily life is communicating with our patients. So since they don't speak English as much, then you have to know the local language. But then by the time I started my clinical year, which was third year of my med school, I already knew a lot of Italian. And as of now, it is very easy for me to communicate with the locals very fluently. So I believe that knowing the local language is very important. Otherwise, the patients don't really open up completely if the doctor doesn't make him feel like, he's talking to someone of his own. So, and one more challenge that I faced was blending in with the Italian culture, which I'm still actually trying to do. And we are all brought up in a very different way as compared to Europeans or Americans. And it was hard for me to adapt to their culture, and everything is different, honestly, like starting from study methods to dressing, food habits, or even party culture, and just like everything else. So I had some challenges actually when it came to food habits, and mostly I cook Indian food at home, because I really can't eat like pasta or pizza daily. At some point it just gets too saturated. And one more thing is that the study method also differs, because here in India we are used to the pen and paper method, but there I noticed that everyone brings their laptops to the university, and they take notes on their laptops or tablets during the lecture. So actually a funny thing here is that I'm so used to studying on my laptop now that I can't really study 100% efficiently using a pen and paper method anymore. So we also had no idea about the dress code that people follow there to the college. Like for example, here in India, I think girls are supposed to wear kurtis, and I don't know if there's a dress code for boys, but I assume that it definitely is something decent. But over there, we have no specific dress code, so we can wear anything to college, and there's literally no restrictions on what you wear to the university, as long as it is decent enough to suit the university atmosphere. So even this was one thing that I didn't know at the beginning, and it was hard for me to adapt with. But then anyway, with time, you just blend into the culture and their habits, and I say you get used to them too. And there are a few habits of mine that have changed completely now. Like I mentioned, studying on my laptop or cooking, which I never used to do when in India. And now I also have the habit of not working on Saturday Sundays, because over there we work from Monday to Friday, full days, full time. But then the weekend is completely for rest and re-energizing yourself. So that's the culture, and I love this part really.
Yeah. So what would be from the first year until now, how we have studied and how we have approached, how we have learned the things clinically to understand the
Yeah.
subject?
Yeah. So study method actually it is like a very different thing and a very big challenge, because it differs a lot as compared to what we did here till say 12th standard. So this was honestly the most difficult thing for me, because I was used to rote learning. So I used to memorize stuff, then write short notes, long answers, etc. But in my university or anywhere in Europe or US, I'd say, or even UK, we don't have subjective exams over there. So we don't have exam patterns like write a short note on, etc., etc. So all our exams are multiple choice questions right from the first year till the end of the medical school, and all these are like USMLE pattern questions. So when I actually tell people that our exams are MCQs, they are like, yeah, it should be easy for you then, right? But honestly, it is not easy, because you have to be conceptually very strong. And I'd say it is also difficult than writing a subjective exam, because the questions are never straight, like they're not targeted to one concept. There are like the questions are blended, taking into consideration say like 3-4 concepts at a time, and that's how the questions are formed. And one thing is that they never get repeated, so there's no point literally in solving past papers, because you're never going to get those questions again. So, and one more thing is that we don't really follow a single book. So whatever is taught in the class, we have to be very attentive to that, because questions will come from that itself. So if you want, you can read a book, but then you can't guarantee that, questions will be from this book only. And most of the questions are case based. So we have like patient cases. So a young woman comes to you, blah, blah, blah. And then there are options like that. So you need a lot of practice to solve such questions, especially which are USMLE based questions. And the passing grade also for each exam of ours is 60%, and sometimes it is also 70% for a few exams. So I had to switch from this subjective kind of exam pattern and study method to MCQs in the first year. And this was very difficult, and which is why for the starting few exams, I didn't really score that well, because I didn't know how to study for MCQs. But then eventually, by asking my seniors and talking to other people of my batch, I learned the method of studying. So you read. So what I do is like I read the entire chapter, so like the notes which I took in class, and then I try to make concept maps, so to memorize stuff. Or I study with the help of mnemonics too, because that helps us remember stuff. And one more method I use is pictorial learning, which I think for me personally has helped me a lot, because I remember pictures and videos more than reading a text. So pictorial learning is a big part of my study method. And also for vivas or oral exams, I mostly I memorize the concepts, and I stand in front of the mirror and just talk to myself, which sounds crazy, but it really helps. And this also helps me boost my confidence, because in Viva, even if you know stuff, you tend to forget it just because you're scared or you're nervous. And this is what I really work on for every exam of mine.
That is really necessary for us to do. And
Yeah.
yeah, so my next would be what are the points you want to suggest for an upcoming student or a fresher to guide themselves to begin their journey in that place, where you are now?
Okay. I would say, first of all, it is absolutely amazing that you guys are choosing medicine as your career, even though it takes a lot of efforts and you have to give your entire youth technically in becoming a great physician or surgeon. But at the end of the day, it is totally worth it, because it gets you respect of other people. Just having that doctor part in front of your name is, according to me, a very huge thing. And in my first year, actually, on the very first day of my med school, I remember the president of medicine and surgery course of my university told us, and I like to quote her here, saying, you don't have to be extraordinarily intelligent to succeed in medical school, but you have to be absolutely hardworking to stand out from others. And this is what I've been, trying to follow since the first year of my med school, because not everyone is that intelligent, but most of the people who succeed in medical school are the hardworking ones. So hard work is key to great success in medical school. And when you begin your medical journey, the most important point I like you to remember is that don't hesitate to seek guidance whenever there are hurdles in your way. So go to your seniors, go to good doctors, successful physicians, surgeons, talk to them, because even if you don't feel like it, you always learn something from them. And even they are happy to help you in becoming a successful person in your medical career. So don't hesitate to seek guidance. I used to hesitate a lot in my first year, but whenever I realized, I mean, there was a point when I realized that you have to, build that rapport with your seniors. So that's what I like to focus on.
And that is one more thing that it is added to for a student to understand that it's not one thing they have to look forward. There are multiple perspectives they have to understand and go forward in that journey of 5 years. So what would be your concluding or parting thoughts for everyone who is learning from this?
I'd just like to say one sentence here, that don't forget to enjoy your med school, because the journey is as beautiful as the destination. So whenever you become a doctor, finally, you're going to look back at this journey of 5-6 years, and you're just going to feel like you've come a long way. But then don't forget to enjoy each and every part of that long way. So that's all I'd like to say over here.
Okay. So thank you so much for joining this short note, but it is going to help many students who are going to watch from your place and from your college side, that how the changes have been seen from the first to last. But definitely will connect in future to understand more, to complete what you're learning and what your plan, how you have to think and how you are going to proceed further in India if you are coming back. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me a chance to be here today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.